The first time I saw the house, it rose from the sea like a forgotten god. We were 1,000 miles from anywhere, the Atlantic as still and gray as glass. Alice was at the bow, lost in a book. I was at the helm, listening to the drone of the motor when she called out, "Is that a lighthouse?" Her voice was laced with a confusion that curdled into dread in my gut. I checked the navigation computer. Nothing. Just us and an endless expanse of deep water. Her boyfriend, Carl, came up from below deck, shielding his eyes. And then I saw it. A single tower, piercing the horizon. It wasn't a lighthouse. As we drew closer, the rest of the structure resolved itself from the haze. A 3-story manor house, complete with gables and chimneys, perched impossibly on a massive, rotting barge. It was gliding toward us with a silent, lazy certainty. "Is that a fucking house?" Carl whispered. He didn't know how right he was. I did. I'd heard the legend years ago, from a cook on another charter. The Tilhuist house, a Scottish lord, bitter and ruined, tried to move his ancestral home to America out of pure spite. He had it dug up, foundation and all, and slid onto a custom-built barge. The story goes it sank in a storm, taking his wife and daughters with it. But I'd seen a picture. A grainy, black-and-white photograph of the house leaving shore, and in that photo, a single light burned in the highest window of its tower. Just like the light in a child's painting I'd found years earlier. That was on the asterisk Sun-Kissed, an abandoned yacht I'd found adrift. A ghost ship that had been missing for 6 years. Below deck was a war zone, but one room had been barricaded from the inside. When I finally broke the door down, the stench of fear and decay hit me like a wall. Someone had lived in that squalor for a long, long time, and on a bedsheet tacked to the wall, they had painted a picture. A house, floating on the water, with a single, lit window in its tower. I remember reaching out to touch the painting. And I swear, from the shadows behind the thin fabric, a small, cold hand reached out to touch me back. Now, that same house was bumping against the hull of my yacht. The groan of its ancient timbers was a sound that didn't belong on the open ocean. Before I could even think to throw the engine in reverse, Carl was over the rail, landing on the slimy deck of the barge. "It's fine," he yelled back at us, grinning like an idiot as he tied our vessels together. "I just gotta look."